Magnolia Springs State Park. A wonderful place in Millen, Georgia to take the family camping. It's a beautiful state park. I'm going to show you all about it and give you some tips and tricks on camping with the kiddos. Here's the lower part of the spring and a bridge that you can walk across. Very pretty, real cool. Lots of trails all over this park. Nice to bring mountain bikes, do a little bit of trail riding, not too strenuous. If you're here during the summertime, they have a splash pad that they have running. Here's what it looks like. I know it's not running because we're not here in the summertime, but nice little fun spot for the kiddos, for the youngins. Have some fun, knock out some time during the summertime. And right behind the splash pad, you have a good sized playground they can play on. And there's pavilions here for hosting parties and family reunions and what have you. So they got some gators up in this place, and they got some turtles up in this place. Yellow belly sliders. Think we got some turtles?
Yeah, it's right there. He was popping his head out and stuff.
Yep, sure enough. There's some turtles down in there. They hide real well. They also happen to have a handful of these nasty things. Definitely some nope ropes that you gotta be careful about.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a turtle. I don't know if y'all saw that.
What are you looking at?
The turtles that are on the rocks, on the logs there. They're out there getting up some sun, soaking up sun. So, for any history buffs, the state park here has some cool history, as it includes Camp Lawton and General Sherman's march and the evacuation of this stronghold. Has some good history to it. So here's what the camp used to look like. Big tall wooden walls with ladders up to the lookout points, the guard towers. Pretty cool. We're gonna go check out what it looks like now, which ain't too much. But yeah, a lot of illness. It's served as a prison at one point. There's the building of it. So yeah, cool history to check out while you're up here, if that's your thing. So for this park, they have a nice large loop filled with lots of standard campsites for all of your RVs and campers, tow behind campers. Most of them are electric, water, and sewer. So I believe some of them, about half of them, are sewer. But then they also have walk-in sites, 27, 28, 29. We stayed in number 27. It's probably my favorite out of the three. But these are supposed to be walk-in sites. Yep, so walk-in campsite that you can drive up into. But it's a walk-in campsite, according to the state park. Oops! Nah, there's 3 of these sites back here, and they have to have this road, service dirt road, in order for them to bring their golf cart truck things that they use to collect trash and debris and stuff. So yeah, it's wide enough that you can get the car back here, even with the trailer. And I'm gotten good enough with that tiny little trailer in order to maneuver myself around through areas like this. So kind of a benefit and a downfall of the little trailers is that you can get in small places with them, but the narrower the axle and the shorter the trailer tongue is, the much trickier it is turning and backing up tiny little trailers like that. So you either get good at it or you're not able to make maneuvers and get into places that you could get into. So when we got here, this tent pad was totally covered in leaves. Totally covered with leaves and little sticks and the little bitty acorns. Not going to be fun to sleep on top of that if we set the tent up on top of that. Since it's a regular campground and it's a tent pad designed for you to put your tent, that's where they want you to put it, I can clear this area, and then when I'm done, I don't have to worry about putting stuff back and making it look natural again, because somebody else is going to come, the trees are going to bring stuff down again. So I didn't bring a broom, I didn't bring a leaf blower, I didn't bring a rake. I don't need to. You can use a branch off of a tree, one like this, where all the leaves are nicely spread out. You know, it has to be from a good-sized tree that's nice and green, that's very healthy. A very healthy tree is not going to hurt the tree by you taking one of these small branches off of a full-size tree. That's not going to hurt the tree. Tree could put up with a lot more damage than that, and it does as it ages in its lifetime. So just a small branch like this with a bunch of green leaves that aren't going to fall off as I'm sweeping, but just sweeping back and forth, I can clear the entire area. I can get this entire area cleared just like that with something like this, just using something like this. So I'm not disturbing wildlife by using a noisy leaf blower, not tearing up the ground with a rake or anything like that. Just useful tool, useful tip. Use what you got, less you have to bring. Next thing I do after setting up the tent is lining the entire floor, well, as much as the floor as I can, with these things. These foam squares that click together. These things are awesome. This gives me a nice, comfortable floor to walk on, helps provide insulation, and helps keep stepping around if there are any twigs or acorns or whatever that's underneath. Obviously I got tarp underneath the tent, but still, even with that, if something penetrates through the tarp, then if it penetrates through the bottom of the tent, that's not good. So this kind of helps lessen the chance of that happening, really diminishes the chance of that happening. So it's nice to have these. It's nice and comfortable, especially when it's freezing cold, because it adds that insulation, adds a little bit of cushion. If your pad is just not quite as much as you want it to be or wish it was, this gives you that extra little bit. It's a comfort thing, not a necessity, obviously. But hey, we're camping in a massive tent, so we're going with some comfort. And these things, because they're squares, they pack nice and flat. I'm able to pad out the inside of the trailer, so all the gear boxes and everything in the trailer is surrounded by these as padding too. So that helps make the trailer a little less noisy, and helps protect everything that way too. So, you know, multiple ways that these come in handy. So, if you're not packing up the kitchen sink to take with you to the campsite, just a short hose for the spigot with a spray nozzle at the end, so you get all your different spray nozzle features, and a collapsible bucket is nice and compact, and gets the job done for all of your washing needs, and cleaning yourself up and cleaning up your dishes. Easy way to do it. Always keep a hammock in the car. Hammocks are nice to have when you're camping, but when you leave a campsite, make sure you pack everything up, and you look before you leave to double, triple, quadruple check that you got everything and are not leaving anything behind, right? But somebody who camped back here in one of these campsites before me today, or yesterday when we got here, left their Eno hammock straps. And these aren't cheap straps. These are one of the better ones with the Eno brand, which I honestly think are a little overpriced. Yeah, max weight 200 pounds per strap. But yeah, some decent Eno straps got left behind by somebody else. Well, they're not getting left behind by me. I will make sure that I am leaving this place the way I found it, taking everything with me, including some new free Eno straps for the hammock. So another fun trick is your glow sticks, in this case bracelets, the glow bracelets. Get a pack of 8 of them or so at the Dollar Tree, and put them on the corners of the tents, or you can put them to the clip where your lead is for your favorite pet that gets to come along, and you can hang them on the trees like so. And what's great about that is that it allows you to have just that little bit of light at different points and parts of your camp, so that in case you have to go to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to worry so much about having a flashlight to get out there to get, you know, 20-30 feet away from your tent so you can go to the bathroom. You just have a few glow sticks everywhere and light yourself a path that leads you back to your tent, keeps you from tripping over rainfly tie-out points and such. Yep. So yeah, just another helpful tip. Make sure that you take home and throw throw away those glow sticks. Don't leave them in the campsite on the trees and stuff. Yep, don't do that. Every time you go camping or backpacking, saws are great. They work when you got a good one. It works well. Processed wood, get nice pieces, last a long time in the fire. But for the slightly smaller pieces that you can't quite break over your thigh or chop with a large knife, finding a tree with that's V-shaped like this, nice and low, you can stick the wood in between and break it off like that. And get some decent sized pieces like so. If it's too big to break, you don't have it long enough, then you can burn it over the fire, and crisscross a couple of logs on top of it so that it burns kind of in a center point, and it'll burn and burn in half on its own, and then you got two pieces that you can then shift and overlap again. So works very nicely to have a tree near camp that has this wedge shape to it. So all these medium and small sticks can be broken down like so for your fire. Learned this a long time ago, and it really works well, especially when you're backpacking. Mainly when I'm backpacking. More than 70% of the time I can find a tree not too far from where I've set up my tent that's like this, and I can do this with it. So I can get some well broken down sticks for a campfire. Whether that's for warmth or for cooking. Saws are nice. Large fixed blades are nice. Even a small hatchet's nice, but those things take up space. They take up weight. And this is already out there. So, very useful tree. I typically prefer them to be a little bit larger than this one, but this was like the closest one to our camp. So it's doing the job, and just roughing up the bark a little bit. It'll take it, and it'll survive, do just fine. So thank you, tree. That's a helpful tip for processing firewood when you don't have other tools.